Well, I've come to the conclusion that the white evangelical church in this country is the true antichrist. You know, and I don't even mean that in the biblical sense. I mean that like the teachings of Jesus the Christ are completely the opposite of what's coming out of the mouths of these evangelical Christians. Jesus, in my perception of Jesus and all that religious stuff, is that he was a person who of inclusivity. He wanted everyone to come with him. You know, from the tax collector to the maybe hookers. I don't know. I mean, Mary. Mary's role in the Bible is very ambiguous. I don't know. I think because Jesus was so pure, he didn't need women. But that's really goes against the grain of Hebrew people, especially at that time. It was, it was a blessing to find a woman and become man and wife or whatever. I don't know that they even had formal man and wife things. Back in those days, you just got together, and if it worked out, you stayed together. Don't know. Don't know anything about. I try my best to not think too much about organized religion. I find it goes really against the grain of how I think about, my holy mother, the earth, and what's really important and what's really going on, and natural law is what, whether we like it or not, is what we're all governed by. I what brought this all on for me today was I wasn't gonna, I've been trying to avoid any sort of political bullshit just to kind of clear my mind and take a rest because, the 2024 elections are going to be coming up really pretty damn soon. So I want to make sure that I'm ready for that. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers or viewers or anything like that, but I'm going to keep on fighting from my little spot here when necessary. Now, I've been making some kind of fun videos for me, and I'm going to continue to do that for pretty much a long while. But I live in Florida, so I wake up this morning and all I see is pictures on my Instagram and TikTok, and not so much on Facebook. I don't really go to Facebook very much. I don't care for it. It's just a bunch of bullshit. People patting each other on the back for some reason. But all these were depictions of empty shelves in school libraries. So they weren't just cleaning out the books that they thought, they were just cleaning out the libraries. I mean, what for? And some of the books on the list, I haven't read all the banned books yet, but I saw some portions of it. They're banning J.D. Salinger's book, the One about the boy growing up. I want to kill a mockingbird. No, not to kill a mockingbird, but it wouldn't surprise me if To Kill a Mockingbird, who was written by a white southern lady from Andalusia, Alabama, if that didn't get banned. You know, this whole thing with this school in South Florida that was supposed to be a school for everyone, and DeSantis has gone in there and fired the board of directors and everything for that school and started replacing them with these Taliban leaders, I'm sorry, the evangelical church leaders. And I've actually heard people saying, "Oh yeah, Taliban. I am the American Christian Taliban." Yeah, they're proud of it. These are the same people that are rooting for Putin. Again, I say the American white evangelical church is their definition of, or the Christian religious definition of the Antichrist. All their teachings, everything that they're doing right now, is completely the opposite of what Jesus said. So that means they are anti-Christ like. So they're the Antichrist. I mean, it's very, to me, it's obvious, right? Shouldn't it be obvious to everyone what these people are doing? Talk about indoctrination. My God. I think that, freedom, I've never, until, these last few years, I just thought, well, religious people, whatever floats your boat, go ahead. If kindness and care for your community comes out of the deal, I'm cool with it. Boy, that is not what I have seen at all. I've seen ugliness and just all of this vile talk about killing Democrats and I it renders you speechless at times to watch this crap. Steinbeck, they're actually banning Of Mice and Men. So you're not so white kids are not going to be to see the hardships that white people had to endure during the Great Depression. Really? Is that what you white evangelical dipwads want for your children? To not know anything about that? You're the Antichrist. You people are the Antichrist. You even said it in your own definition. Unbelievable. And these people I see on Facebook that 1 minute they're going, kill Joe Biden, he's just, and then they have some quote from the Bible that's supposed to be meaningful right after that. And then there's a whole bunch of people going, amen, or amen, brother, bro. Disgusting. People are disgusting. Antichrists. Well, that's probably about, enough of that. But Ron DeSantis is one of the worst human beings, in my opinion, that there is. He's a white supremacist. This whole banning AP African American studies from Florida high schools, that should be illegal for him to do that. you know, I don't know what the percentage of African Americans are in the state of Florida, but I'm sure it's pretty up there, 25, 30%, something like that, higher than the national average. This is this is and talk about what's the words they use, to describe other people's pedophilia. This is like the ultimate pedophilia. You are fucking with these kids' minds. Not to mention, of course, we are, we're hearing about all these Christian, especially Southern Baptists and the Catholics are having a race to see who can be the bigger hypocrites and the worst pedophiliacs. I like inventing new words like that. It's just, excuse me again. I get worked up. I start coughing. I don't know. Anyway, I just had to say something, and I do these little vents like this because I think it gets a little bit of it out of me, but I don't know. You know, my wife and I love our little home here, and we love our little neighborhood, but we live in Florida. You know, none of our kids go to school here anymore, although all of our kids had pretty happy childhoods growing up and going to school here in Florida. They're all in their 30s and 40s now. And they're like, well, I don't know. Only one of them lives here now. The rest are all gone. The other two are in New York and living in New England. I don't know. I'm just. You know, the banning of the all the black books, by Maya Angelou and Dr. King and all that. You could kind of see that coming with these racists, with the actions that have happened in the past from, DiSantos and his really, really unethical cronies. But for them to be so stupid as to start banning white stories that show, that depict, a time in history, and it's all basically about white people. I mean, of mice and men, and what was the one where they came out from Oklahoma to to escape the Dust Bowl? Very hard book to read, kind of, but the movie was pretty good. But anyway, I'm an old man. I can't remember all this crap, and I'm not going to do a bunch of research on the subject. It's pretty obvious, and in a way, Florida. I mean, I really hate to say that. We deserve it because nobody went out and voted against all this stuff, but I hate to say that because there's so many good people here in this state. Even though there's just a huge amount of horrible dimwit, drug addict, meth addict, drunk, alligator carrying, homophobic, gun toting, Confederate flag waving idiots that roam around like what they're doing is normal. Well, That's enough. I just, evangelical Christians are the Antichrist, period, full stop.